What is up, YouTube? This is JD, and this is Grim Info. And so I wanted to cover real quick the Jussie Smollett case, and not really the verdict. We all know the verdict. We all know that he was guilty. Him, Bubba Wallace, Oprah Winfrey, all these people that have committed these atrocities and these fake hate crimes so that way they can demonize an entire race of individuals. Is absolutely ridiculous. Actually, what I want to cover about this is the fact of the matter that Mr. Smollett seems to think that he can appeal a judge and a jury's decision that found him guilty on 5 out of 6 of the counts of what, setting up basically false reporting, everything else. And what I want to break down is this seems to be, in a nutshell, what is wrong with our culture at the core. At the core of our culture, we have an entire generation of people who go out and do things wrong and don't even know that they're doing something wrong. They don't even know. This guy is so oblivious. I don't know if it's his ego. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he just... I don't know. I absolutely have no clue what is wrong with them. And it's a whole generation of people in children's today. They have no clue what they're doing, and they have no insight to look at themselves and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have done this to these people. Maybe I shouldn't have sat back and tried to turn an entire group of people into racists because I'm an ignorant person and made these choices to do this. And that's exactly, at the core of what's wrong with our country, is that you have so many people like Jussie Smollett that go out here and falsely report crimes, falsely do these things that in their head, for some reason, in his head, he thinks it's okay. It's okay to go out here and set this up, cause fake hysteria and we see it in our media. We see it in everything we go through, and we allow it to go on. I last night was watching an old show, Married with Children. A lot of people may know this show. And I do believe it was season 10, episode 4, where Al and Peggy wins a contest, and she goes on a cruise. Well, while on this cruise, a huge, large woman cuts through 12 inches of bulkhead to inhale some jerk chicken, only to find Bud and Kelly at home with the media completely manipulating and taking advantage of the situation. Even, and this is in the 90s. This was in like 1995 this was made. So we knew our media was this corrupt back then, for them to make jokes about it in television shows. And that's the reason why this kind of holds a weird, it definitely is relevant to what's going on. Because we have a media that is absolutely complacent in creating this environment for people like Jussie Smollett to stand in front of a camera with ignorant morons like Al Sharpton, who actually used to do good and now has become just a fucking moron. He's a waste of space. And, but they now give a platform to these people like Jussie Smollett who, want to scream wolf when they're the wolf. Jussie Smollett is the wolf. They're literally demonizing an entire group of people. And, you have to think about this, and this isn't really getting it, I guess it's kind of getting into the realm of the conspiracy theorists a little bit. But think about this. Obama has done everything he's done and set up everything he set up, along with Bush, okay? Bush is with him, and all the globalists and all that. What if Jussie Smollett was told to set this up by Obama so that way the January 6ers, so that way it could be used? Think about that. Think about that. You know what I'm saying? It's playing chess. They play chess. And so understand that every single move is a calculated move towards their end goal. And I'm just saying, because it's kind of weird how Bubba Wallace did it, all these, and it's like, I don't even understand why the fuck people are even watching NASCAR anymore or sports at all. I love sports and I don't even turn them on anymore. because I am so sick and tired of being bombarded with these fucking people about, oh, you gotta hate this and you gotta hate that, and if you don't get down on your knees and kiss that black man's feet. Motherfucker, fuck you. I'm not kissing any goddamn man's feet unless it's Jesus. I am so sick and tired of being told that I'm a terrible person because I was born the way I was born. I can't fucking help it, and I'm sick and tired of the media manipulating. I'm sick of people like LeBron James trying to tell people that they're fucking terrible. I love every time somebody takes LeBron James down a fucking peg. He's a piece of fucking garbage. And you know what? We could sit around and talk about him and Michael Jordan all day long. Do you know the difference between him and Michael Jordan? Class. LeBron James could probably be the best basketball player to ever play. But do you know the reason why he'll never actually hold that title? Because he divides so many people, where Michael Jordan brought so many people together. Michael Jordan, anybody, it didn't matter who you were. I watched people like my father, who was a racist, I guess not a racist, he just didn't like black people. And he had his reasons. And, but he loved watching Michael Jordan play basketball. But if he watched LeBron James and had to hear the shit LeBron James said, I'd have to leave because I could never stand his fucking mouth. And it's just the truth. But that's the culture we're at, is that it's okay. This is like this victim mentality. Like, it's okay to be a victim. It's okay that, I'm so oppressed. I'm so hurt. Oh, la, 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 la. But yet you have how many people trying to die to get here to America? Little kids being raped on the way here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, being destroyed, women being abused just so that way they can get to America. But it's such a terrible racist fucking nation. No, it's not. What we really are as America is we have stopped holding our children accountable for their actions. Instead, I'll make another point. So I was an officer for the state of Indiana, and I had gotten injured, and I had gained a lot of weight from my injury. And my daughter at the time was running out of some doors. And if anybody understands how Kroger is, Kroger usually has like 2 sets of doors, one, like a little breezeway where you get the carts and everything else. Well, we went out the first set of doors. Well, my daughter goes running out the other door. And you know how Kroger is right there in the front. Everybody's driving right by. Most people are driving like idiots. And I yell at my daughter because I had an injured back. I literally, can't hardly walk. And so I can't chase down a 5-year-old to save my 5-year-old. So I have to use my voice. And some woman tells me, well, if I was her, I'd run away too. I'm like, excuse me? This is what's wrong with our country. At the end of the day, you're in somebody's business you shouldn't be in. And then the other point of it is that if I don't tell my daughter what she's doing wrong, are you going to scrape her fucking brains off the concrete? Sometimes you have to tell people that they're doing something wrong and hold them accountable. But Jussie Smollett has never been held accountable for any of his actions. I can guarantee it. He's always been enabled. He's always been told, you're a special little turd. And he believes it. Which is the reason why he's so smug and arrogant to believe that, he'll go to appeals court and he'll overturn all of the evidence that he gave people. I mean, he gave them all the evidence they could ever need to metaphorically hang him with. And at the end of the day, he's guilty. He's guilty. And that is the generation. Instead of sitting back and going, yeah, you're right, I messed up. You know what? I want to apologize to all you people out there that, are white and Trump supporters. I shouldn't have done what I did. I was emotional. I was a wreck. I messed up. I was angry about the politics that are involved in all of this. And, I could not stand and I messed up and I'm going to take my punishment. But instead of that, no. So arrogant, so smug. I can beat this. I can beat it. I can overturn a judge and a jury and all these other people and all this evidence that's been mounted against me because I'm right. And they're all wrong. Every single one of them. I was attacked by two brothers that I was banging and that I paid to attack me. It was a sexual act gone crazy. And so we just figured that we would blame it on Trump supporters. They went a little bit far. They didn't understand my safe word squash. And so I just figured, well, hell, I'm already here with a rope around my neck and two brothers treat me like the train. So, I'll just blame it on some white guys in Trump country in Chicago. Seriously, I've been to Chicago. I hardly doubt there's a Trump country anywhere in Chicago, especially white guys running around the city in the middle of the night with nooses, dousing people with fucking bleach. Okay. It's insane. But like I said, at the core of what's wrong with our country, this is what's wrong. Because our youth is lost. Because we've allowed a system to sit back and come in and say, you can't do this to them. You can't punish them. How dare you do this to them? And they did it on purpose. And when you understand that, when you understand that our government has systematically taken our parental rights away over the years, you end up with Jussie Smollett. And you end up with an entire country of Jussie Smollett. Which is no wonder why we have such arrogant little pricks running around doing the terrible things they're doing. But then it doesn't help matters when you have the situation that happened in Covington. If you haven't been on my Facebook page, please go look it up. Grim Indo. I shared a video from the jail cell of a sheriff. A man is getting ready to get out of jail. He's standing there. I don't know. Maybe he's running his mouth. No clue. He is literally have his back turned to the officer. He's getting ready to get out. So he's not really doing anything wrong to keep his ass in jail any longer, okay? Sheriff grabs him, slams him on his fucking head, splits his head wide open. He's bleeding everywhere. And towards the end of the video, they just go, well, you got a right out there, don't you? Well, here's your bag. Here's your stuff. And he's asking him, are you guys rearresting me? Are you letting me go? Or what? They let him go. He slammed his ass on the ground and then let him go. I mean, this is part of the reason why. So you police officers out there, part of the reason why Jussie Smollett's getting away with what he's doing and the reason why things are so bad are because you go too far. You go too far. And for some reason, you think you have the power to put your fucking hands on people and hurt them because they run their mouth to you or they don't comply when you tell them to get down. Man, fuck you. It gets on my nerves. I get so sick of this shit. If nobody has actually committed a crime, you don't have the right to do anything to anyone. And part of the reason what's going on in our country is you. If you wear a goddamn badge, it's your fucking fault. Because instead of being protect and serve mentality, no, you're more like enforce and enslave mentality. I know because I deal with fucking cops. I literally got arrested for asking a question. Asking a question, and I have proof of it. So don't tell me I'm a fucking liar. Or having my son threaten to be taken from me just because I ask a question. And being told, wrong place, wrong time. You can't talk here. That's wrong place, wrong time. So you give way to people like Jussie Smollett. But then you turn around and let buildings burn. And let cities burn. And let people smack people in the fucking face with skateboards. Because you don't want to fuck with them, do you? No, because you're cowards. Most of you would rather just attack somebody who has nothing. Who's standing there with their back turned to you because it's easier for you. And of course, the cop that did it was a big, fat, huge, fat, pudgy motherfucker. Probably can't run. Probably duty belt fucking probably weighs him down even more than the fucking rolls he's got tucked under his fucking titties. And it's bullshit. And it's no disrespect to the blue. If you go to work every single day and you do your job and you believe in protect and serve, then I'm not talking about you. But the rest of you, you know, like the motherfuckers with kill and destroy on their guns and shit, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And most of America does too. And we're sick of it. We're sick of you, DAs like you, and judges like you. who have no clue what the fucking Constitution says or how to respect other people's rights. You just show up, you run your fucking mouth, and you think that I don't have the right to run mine back for whatever reason. This is America, bitch. I'm allowed to tell you whatever the fuck I want, and if you don't like it, I can tell you exactly where to put your lips. And I'm sick and tired of cops like you, because cops like you are the reason why Jussie Smollett exists. Jussie Smollett wouldn't exist if cops like you didn't exist. That's what happens, is you give way for that, because there are people like me out there that go, wow, if I wasn't awake and didn't know how to, look at facts, I'd be the same way. Oh, wow. Wait a minute. Look what happened to Jussie Smollett, and those cops are just railroading him. Those fucking pigs. That's what you do. That's exactly what a whole generation of people see. Because they don't even care about the facts at this point anymore. All they care about is they don't like cops. Most people don't like cops anymore. And you have created this situation. Because instead of getting up and going, you know what, I'm going to do the right thing today. Maybe I help an old lady walk across the street. Maybe I'll do the right thing. Or you show up to a fight and an argument between two people instead of just going, you know what, as long as this doesn't get violent, whatever. And walk the fuck away. I have seen so many situations where cops should just walk away from the situation. They don't. They stand there and want to argue. And then they make the situation worse. And then when the person finally gets tired of this cop making the situation worse and treats him like any normal human being, then the cop, oh, you're attacking a police officer. Now you're resisting arrest. Oh, you're putting our lives in danger. Now we got to kill you. Now we got to shoot you. Now it's shoot time. That's what's wrong with our country. We have militarized our police. We've allowed our judges to become tiny tyrants with the edict power to just put anybody they want in jail. And so we've given way. We've given way. The entire system has given way for an entire generation like Jussie Smollett to exist. When holding them accountable for their actions is the most important fact. Not being tyrants, not forcing your will on other people. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happens. So you have a system that has taken away parental rights and taken the mother and the father out of the situation, whether it be by removing men from the home, by giving women every fucking dime of something they want and sitting back, making it to where there's no reason for them. There's no incentive for them to be in a relationship. There's no reason for them to raise families. So since there's no incentive to raise families, the system has destroyed families, the majority of them being black families. So, and then you take away the parents' ability to hold their children accountable for their actions. Then you create a system where you have Jussie Smollett on one side and you have terrible fucking cops on the other who have no clue of the accountability, who got a little bit of power, put a little bitty badge on their chest. Now they're King fucking Kong. They're no different than Jussie Smollett. And you have judges and prosecutors that are all the same. This is a whole generation of people. And then you have a bunch of old ass judges that want to be hip and cool and be trendy and they're ready to, fight the power, even though they are the power. So America, it's a terror. We live in a terrible time. We have got to hold our children accountable for their actions. We've got to hold every man accountable for his actions and his words. We cannot allow people like Jussie Smollett to just arbitrarily get away with everything they do, regardless if they've got a badge on their chest or they're an actor or they make $1 million or there's some bum on the street peeing on your sign outside your business. We live in a nation of laws where people have got to be held accountable for their actions. And when we don't hold people accountable for these actions, when we don't hold them accountable for the things that they've done, it gets out of control where it is. I mean, think about it this way. Snoop Dogg shot and killed a police officer, and he's on the streets. He should have never gotten out of jail. But that's not our culture, is it? And that's exactly what's wrong with America. And we've started it a long time ago. We should have held him accountable. He should still be in prison today for the life he took. But he's not. And what do you have? You have a whole generation of crybabies sitting around. I got PTSD and I can't do this and I can't do that and over and over and over and over and over again. And it's one thing to say, oh, I'm hard ass, nails and balls. It's easy to say that. But it's another to hold people just accountable. That's the easiest thing there is. I hold my children very accountable for their actions. They do something they're not supposed to do, I don't care. They get punished. And it is what it is. And they hold their punishment because I want to produce working, valued members of our society. And there's only one way to do that. And that is for them to understand that when they make a mistake, they have to own that mistake. And there's always a consequence. There's always a reaction for their actions. And they have to be held accountable for their actions. And there are consequences for the choices that they make. We stopped teaching that a very long time ago in America, which has led to terrible police officers, terrible prosecutors, and people just like Jussie Smollett. So that's my opinion and my take on it. Honestly and truthfully, I think it's funny. I hope he loses again. I hope he loses again because he deserves to. And I hope I hope that police officer in Covington that slammed that man on the ground, I hope he goes to jail. And I hope somebody does that to him because it's what he deserves. An eye for an eye, baby. A tooth for a tooth. I'm all about it. I'm all about it. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This should be a basic law. It's what we are based on. And they are slowly, meticulously taking that away from us. They've been doing it for years. They've been taking our rights away ever since they passed the safety belt law. And it's your property. It's your property. You bought that fucking car. You paid $40,000 for it, and they can pull you over and fine you because of the way you use your property. For roads, you pay for. On tires, you pay taxes for in a lot of different places. For gas, you pay for. For the insurance, you pay for. And I had a guy the other day tell me, well, JD, how do you feel about the guy that's got to go out there and scrape them brains up? Well, that's what he gets paid for. That's what his job is. So being a first responder, if you got to scoop somebody's brains up and put them in a bag, but we let them start taking all of our rights. And when we started letting them take away all these things, look at what's trickled from that. We keep allowing them to take these things from us. We have to take our culture back, and it starts with our children. It starts by doing what's right. Because if not, we end up with people that want to take all of our freedoms, all of our liberties away. We have people that don't want to hold anybody accountable for their actions. And then you end up with Jussie Smollett, bad policing, and bad prosecutors, and bad people in government completely, all the way around. So I want to thank everybody for their time. I want everyone to out there this Christmas season to be thankful for something. Find something to be thankful for. Even if you don't believe in Christmas, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, find something to be thankful for. Because at the end of the day, that's one of the greatest things that we have as human beings is that we can hope and we can be thankful for each other. I know there are a lot of people out there that don't like me. They don't like these videos. I get banned all the time. I'm like on my 5th channel now. And at the end of the day, those people can keep trying to kick me off and they can hate everything I got to say. And you know what? I do nothing but pray for you. I pray that you find discernment. I pray that you understand your actions, because all I'm trying to do is give people a little bit of truth and bring people a little bit of insight and maybe a different opinion and a different approach on it. Maybe, help out. Maybe it's just a better insight on what you're thinking about, a different opinion, a different approach, a different angle. Okay? It doesn't mean that we have to disagree. We can absolutely disagree, but we don't have to. At the end of the day, all of our opinions, I believe, are valid. But I do believe that that's what, at the core of what is wrong with our culture, it begins with our children. And we allowed them to attack our children. We allowed them to take the ability of parents to be parents. When, my mom ain't the best woman in the entire world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't grow up the best way. But you know what my mom was good at? My mom was good at fucking whooping my ass when I needed it. Just saying. I mean, I might have laughed at her because, she didn't really whip me, but my dad did. And so, at the end of the day, when I had to have an ass whooping, I got one. Which is the reason why I'm the person that I am. Because I was held accountable for my actions. And that's something that you just don't see anymore. You see little kids running around cursing, doing whatever they want to do, and parents laughing, giggling, thinking it's cute. It ain't cute. You're raising more Jussie Smolletts. You're raising more bad police officers. You're raising people who won't be held accountable for anything that they do. So during this Christmas season, please find a reason to be thankful. Find a reason to look at your brother human or your sister human and, find love in your heart and understanding for them. Because that is how we truly win. We have got to stop closing ourselves off and open our hearts and see something bigger and see the bigger picture. Because we don't want to live in a world full of injustice. And that's what we're creating with these people. Jussie Smollett is a perfect example of that. He thinks that for some reason that he can just arbitrarily, not be held accountable for his actions. He gets to demonize a whole bunch of people that did nothing wrong to him. And I'm sure a lot of people were fans of his in the show Empire up until this point. But he didn't care. And so we as Americans should care. So thank you for your time, America, on this Friday. Like I said, if you get an opportunity to go up to somebody, give them a hug, man. Tell them what's up. Tell them you care about them. All right? Until next time, as always, I love you, America. Get down on one knee, or two knees, whatever. Pray. Talk to God. Okay? Take a walk in the woods. Go listen to the sounds. Go listen to the birds. Listen to nature. Talk to God there. Get as close as you can. Love your children, love your neighbors, and take care of your families. All right? Until next time, America, I love you.